Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk. Hello, everybody. Good evening to you. We are live, and this is Treasure Talk. As you might notice, the guru is not here tonight. He's off doing a speaking engagement. We call him Hollywood Phil Myers. So he's not here tonight. But we got the Big Poppy is going to join me here in a second. And don't get any better than Big Poppy. You know what I'm saying? So we got a really good show for you tonight. We got these two guys, and they are the quill. And they got a lot of good stuff to talk about. If you watch any of their videos, you'll see them finding lots of good stuff. So we're going to talk about a varying topics tonight, a whole bunch of stuff, and get in depth with them and some of the things that's going on. But as always, Treasure Talk is brought to you by the fine folks at Myers Metal Detectors, where they sell nothing but fun and adventure. And if Phil don't have it in stock, you don't need it. Also, all the opinions expressed tonight are the guests' opinions, not the opinion of me, Jeff Monin, Phil Myers, Joe Vizzi, or Myers Metal Detectors. So it's unfortunate we have to say that, but that's just part of the housekeeping routine these days. So I'm going to bring on Big Poppy, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do as a giveaway tonight. Then we'll get into the show with our fantastic guests. So let's see if Big Poppy is here from sunny Tampa, Florida. Okay, Big Poppy.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hey Jeff.
I'm good.
How's everybody out there in the metal detecting and treasure hunting world out there? This is.
I just got a compliment on my shirt.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's a Trumbull Treasure Hunter shirt.
That's a beautiful shirt. Beautiful shirt. I'm with my shirt. I'm in Hawaii. You know.
Yeah. Well, you wish.
Yeah, exactly.
You wish. So. Things are going good. I know you were not there Saturday. Phil called me in a frazzle.
No, actually, it was crazy. As Saturday, I had events, wine events. Thursday, I had a wine dinner. Friday, I had a wine event. Saturday, I had a wine event. I had to be in Dunedin. I had to be there by 2:00, and there was about 65 people at that event. It was really nice. And then Sunday I had an event. So I had 4 days in a row. So I'm extremely happy to be on the show with you guys and filling in for my buddy Phil. But he did want me to mention to all the good folks out there in treasure hunting land, he will not be at his shop on Wednesday. He's got to take his wife, Jocelyn, which she's my sister from another mister, right, Jeff?
That's it.
And she's getting cataract surgery. So she's going in for that, and he's not going to have anyone to run the shop on Wednesday. So come see me on Saturday. If you want to pop in there, I definitely will be there. I have nothing scheduled.
Well, I had a wine event too. After the second bottle, it was eventful.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do a giveaway tonight. We're going to have Big Poppy put together a nice swag pack for y'all, and it will be an artistic sazich will be included, as well as the coveted Myers Metal Detectors towel, plus a whole bunch of other good stuff that Big Poppy will throw in.
Yeah, we're going to give a Myers Metal Detector t-shirt. So if you are one of the lucky winners or the winner, all you have to do is send your size to Jeff. And I will be putting some other random stuff in the goodie swag pack. So you're gonna
whenever Phil turns his back.
Yeah. Huh?
Whenever Phil turns his back.
Oh,
just
absolutely.
Throw some more stuff in there, you know. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. We'll do that a little bit later on. So we've got a great show for you tonight. You've seen these two gentlemen before, but you can never get enough of them because they got adventures going on all the time and some really cool adventures. They've metal detected all over the world, and they're going to tell us about their adventures and what's going on in their world. So let's bring on the guys from Adventures in Dirt, Ken King, and 5280 Adventures. Let's bring them on here. Okay, there we go.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Some kind of fanfare, right? Dun, da, da, da.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And
That's
I
right.
like
Is
these
the
guys already, man. They got facial hair.
Yeah. Well, look at this. Hey, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Catch up, Jeff. One of these things is not like the other. Come on, man.
Jeff's gonna grow his beard out. One of these-
Oh, well, it's it's all white, so
Yeah, look at me. Mine is all white, brother.
you know.
How are
as
you,
much
Jeff?
as as much as I hate shaving, I should, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what's been going on, guys?
Whew.
A lot.
We've been busy. We took a little metal detecting trip not too long ago. We've got our weekly podcast going on. We've got our treasure hunting community that we keep up with. We've got our Eureka Treasure Hunters Club that we're a part of. We're busy. We're
Yeah,
busy
lots
all the
going
time.
on. Lots
That's
going
a
on.
good thing.
Yeah.
Busy is good.
Now, have you guys gone to live streaming your podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we were
great.
doing.
I-
We had been doing. The Relics Radio podcast has been on the air for about 7 years now, and it's always been audio only, a typical podcast, and people have come to
Mhm.
know that from we do them live on Thursday nights, and some people would join us live for that, and we'd have a little chat group similar to video live stream, but it would be audio over on Spreaker.com, and then people would then download the show. The vast majority of people that listen to Relics Radio would download the show sometime in the next coming weeks. Well, Spreaker, the hosting platform, said we're no longer going to do live broadcasts. We're going to only let you pre-record and upload shows and continue to have your podcast that way. And Tony and I really kind of, loved the fact that we could interact with listeners live. Him and I were both very familiar with live streaming on YouTube already. So we just decided they were going to end that at the end of this year. And decided, let's not wait for the end of this year. Let's make the change now. Let everyone make the adjustment. And now we're starting to do the podcast live streaming video over on Tony's channel, 5280 Adventures on YouTube. And then I take the audio from that and still upload the audio to Spreaker, to our Spreaker account, which then gives download listeners, the ones that like to catch the archive, still the ability to catch the archive.
Mhm.
But now they have the added opportunity to come see Tony and I's beautiful faces and the guests that we have on. And sometimes they'll show relics. Sometimes we'll show pictures. So that's the added benefit of them coming over to watch the live video.
I caught the last one, and there was a certain button that y'all were talking about that was pretty special.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have it right here. I can grab it.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, gentlemen, I wanted to ask you a question because
Sure.
this is actually the first time I'm meeting you guys. Where are you located?
Yep. So we're in the beautiful state of Colorado.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm in the
Gorgeous.
better part up north.
Okay.
Southern
You're in the
Colorado is
wilderness.
where it's at.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
We're
Colorado mountains and the fly fishing, and
Yeah.
you see elk everywhere. And that's
Yeah.
the last time I was there, I went fly fishing with Orvis.
Oh yeah.
So it was a beautiful experience. Beautiful country.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So-
beautiful.
Denver
Yeah,
sits
I've
right
seen
smack
you-
dab in the middle of the state, and Ken's about an hour north of Denver. I'm an hour south of Denver, so maybe not that far, but we kind of split up the state, and we do our research and just tackle the whole state together. We've known each other for how many years now? Seven or 8 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys find some really nice stuff, I have to tell you.
It's
Well,
hard.
thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. It's hard in Colorado because Colorado doesn't go
Yeah.
back that far. If you find
Mhm.
stuff in the 1850s, you're going back about as far as people were here dropping metal. So,
Right.
yeah, you had fur trappers and traders before that, of course, but really pioneers and military that came through here were, 1850s. And that's the
Right.
earliest. There's some places back east, like where you guys are at, to go much further back. But yeah, so we're lucky to have found some of the stuff we found. And I think it's
Yeah.
only due to the amount of research and the type of research we do. Tony and I said we've known each other for 7 years. We both started metal detecting at the same time. We both started YouTube channels at the same time. And we've been hunting partners ever since.
From day one,
from
pretty
day
much.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've watched a number of your videos, and I mean, there's another fella that you hunt with sometimes, another friend of yours, and I tell you what, y'all just keep the great finds. Once you you get on the spot, the finds just start popping.
Sometimes it's the way it is, right? Like sometimes you think you're in a, you did your research, you go there and there's nothing. And then all of a sudden, bam, they start rolling. And sometimes it can really turn out great for a short amount of time,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, you do your research on a certain area and then you go there and nothing turns up.
Right.
And then you see another spot over there. You say, well, I'll go on over here. And boom, that's where you start finding everything.
Do you?
So you just never know.
Excuse me, Jeff. Do you gentlemen find a lot of gold nuggets over there in Colorado?
Yeah, we just throw those back though.
Yeah,
You don't want
There's so many of them. We just throw them.
Okay, we got a question from the lovely Kathy Kraus Bakhorn.
Hello,
She
Kathy.
wants to know from each of
Kathy.
you guys what detectors you're using.
I use the good one, and Tony doesn't use the good one. How's that?
What?
Go ahead, Tony. We
I
to
use
keep each other's
dowsing
business.
rods. That's what I use.
Yeah,
No.
Tony's a master with the dowsing rods.
I started out using Garrett products all the way up through first couple of years, and just within the last 2 years or so, I switched over to the MindLab Manicore. So I'm finding a lot more stuff that Ken is real jealous about.
Yes,
So
he is.
he's not going to come to the dark side yet, but I'm working on him.
That Manicore is a great machine there, Tony.
He sure is.
You know what?
We
They
sell a
named it-
lot of those in the shop.
They named it the Beast, and I tell you, it is a beast.
Are you using the regular stock coil, or did you go ahead and purchase one of the small coils?
So I'm saving up my pennies and nickels to buy the smaller coil for it. So I've just been using the stock coil, but previously I have used smaller coils on machines, and I know that, man, if you get a hold of a really good small coil, Ken and I we try to. So different places that we hunt at, obviously the old homesteads that are no longer there, old silver mining towns. You come on the spots that have a lot of iron. That's the spot that you want to hit. And those smaller coils is what just picks it through. I used the Ace Apex previously, the AT Pro, all great with smaller coils. And I know that the MindLab, the Manicore, once it gets that smaller coil, is just going to be, it's already a beast. I'm just using the stock one. So
Yeah, we have at Myers at the shop, we sell a lot of the new 9-inch coil, and we also have the even smaller one, which is the 8.5 by 10 size. It's really nice. That helps you maneuver, especially like you were saying, in those trashy areas.
Yeah. We don't have, we generally hunt relic sites. So we're not doing parks where, the finds aren't necessarily spread out as much. Like you get in a hot spot over here in Colorado and it's iron like crazy. And you got to be able to pick through that iron and find, the really cool buttons and bullets and coins and things like that. That's more what our hunting is more geared towards.
I got you.
Okay. How about you, Ken?
Well, I will say also that, boy, since Tony has gotten the Manticore, and I say this a lot, that I've seen his detecting change like dramatically, like his skill as a detectorist. I know they say the machine doesn't make the detectorist, but boy, I seen it really kind of improve the amount of stuff that he's pulled out of the ground. he's able to discern a lot better between good targets and not so good targets. I think it makes me really jealous sometimes, but yeah, I'll say that about Toady. I started with the Bounty Hunter and then moved on from there to Technetics T2. That sort of was my baby. And then started getting into the Nocta products. I was using a Legend, and right now I'm using the Deus 2 from XP.
That's what I swing to. There is the Deus 2. I really love that machine.
Yeah,
I love my
Great
Deus
machine.
2.
Great machine.
Yeah, I like.
So-
I have the one with the 9-inch quad. I believe, Jeff, you have the same. Am I correct?
I've got both.
Okay.
I use
Yeah,
I
the
will
got
say
two.
one. You know,
Two Deus 2s.
I've never swung the Deus or the Deus 2, but Ken, since he's gotten his Deus, there's a lot to learn with it, which includes one of those primary things is charge the coil.
I knew he was going there.
Yeah.
And it works out a lot better if you keep that thing charged.
I had
It just finds
my
a lot more
first
metal.
experience. I had my first experience with that.
They don't tell you when you power on that you have no charge on your coil. So
We were on a trip, and we're just, you got 4 geeky guys that just love what we do and are geeking out at the area we're at, and all the research had come together. We knew we were on the right spot, miles away from where we live, and we're all sleeping in a camper together for a week. And I came on, I plugged in my stuff before I absolutely crashed out for the night, and I didn't make sure I had that good connection. I just kind of quickly plugged it in, and the next morning I got up, loaded all my gear, and went out. I was in there for about 15 minutes, and that thing fell down, and I was like, oh man.
Well, I'll tell you.
A good thing I had a backup with me. So
okay,
Always have to have a backup.
Get you a different charger unit for it. It makes a difference. So we got a question from Larry Stevens.
Hey, Larry.
Tony, how do you keep from digging nails with the Manticore?
Okay. I myself, nails can sound really good. I mean, we know you're going to get that high tone, that squeak, and we're generally trying to figure out if you're going to dig it or not. I am relying probably maybe too much on it, but that 2D screen, I am and I will keep it PG, but I really rely on where it falls in what they call the sweet spot. You've got that middle line that goes across your screen, and a lot of what I dig is determined where on that graph it actually comes out at. So those nails, if there's a lot of movement on that screen, I attribute that to iron. If it's a very distinct, sharp, crisp signal that generally falls within that sweet spot area, that's usually the stuff that I'm really digging. But I'm also, one of the things I know Ken says that I'm digging a lot more higher quality relics. That Manticore will tell you when there's multiple items in there, and that's how I'm able to dig around those nails a lot better than I have previously with other machines. You're going to be able to see that squeak with the nail, but then on another spot, you're going to be able to see that coin just sitting right there. And I've relied a lot on that screen to help me grow as a detectorist, and that's how I get around digging those nails.
And here's a question from the guy we were talking about a little earlier, metal detecting war relics. And this is your friend from the UK, I believe.
Yeah, his name's Nick West, and it's about 1:30 in the morning right now for him or something.
Yeah, well, he's definitely a night owl, if nothing else, And Nick, we appreciate you being here. And we're not going to say you're a vampire. We're not going there. Ken can go there.
Hey, my
we
opinions are not necessarily your opinions, Jeff.
That is true.
We're not reflective of the show. That's right.
But I'll pop up our email address, Ken, and shoot me an email. We'll get you set up to come on the show. So
that sounds good.
Okay, the question was, for both of you, what is the oldest thing you have found?
Honestly, I think we both have to probably go back to some finds in England,
of course,
because they're gonna just outdate anything that we can find here in the U.S. So I think for me, I mean, verifiably, date wise, I dug a hammered copper coin, and I can't remember who it was, but I want to say it was 1400s. I think mid 1400s copper coin. The funny thing about England, you don't even know what you have some of the times, and you don't throw anything out. Anything can be something. And
That is
after
true.
the fact, after the fact, it's a very, very super thin piece of copper, and it just it looked like trash to me. But you get back, you start cleaning up things, and sure enough, one of our barn hands, our people that we were with, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what this is. It's to this date," and I'm like, I would have never even thought that. So, and I wish I
yeah,
could
that's the
remember
thing.
more about it.
And they tell you when I was over there, they told us do not throw anything away till we
Yeah.
look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's some of the stuff I said, hey, this is junk. And you say, I don't want to tote this around all day. But you do.
Yeah.
And then when you get back, they come, oh yeah, this. You go, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we both experienced that. Things that look like junk that turned out to be something amazing.
Yeah.
My oldest item too goes back to England, and it's actually a bronze Roman coin from Emperor Vespasian. He ruled from 69 AD to like 79 AD, something like that. And he actually the one that started the Roman Colosseum, and then his son Titus, I think, finished it. But yeah, I mean, when you hold something that old in your hand.
And what area in England were you guys at?
We were in Colchester area, so it's
That's where I was. Yeah, that's where I was.
It's an old Roman settlement, so finding Roman stuff there is very possible, and older things too. Old Celtic items and Iron Age and Bronze Age and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, we found some Bronze Age stuff.
Yeah.
Just a piece of it looked like a hunk of metal, and it was a piece of a Bronze Age axe. So
yeah,
right.
Crazy.
That's cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and the fact that can survive all this time, right? I'm holding this Roman coin that they used to trade with or whatever, and it's survived in that spot or close by for all those years, just waiting for me in the middle of this world to come by with my little coil and find that thing.
It was waiting for you there.
It
Ken.
was totally waiting.
It was meant to be.
And you
Blows
think
my
about it, how many years has it been in that field that's had fertilizers and been plowed and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So how deep was it that came up? It's amazing to me. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Did you find any buttons?
Oh my gosh.
About
200 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how many buttons you find over there?
That's cool.
It's the majority of what you find. You find buttons. That's what you find. And occasionally a coin. A lot of World War II anti-aircraft flak.
Yeah.
That's definitely on my bucket list is to go hunt over there in England. I'm sure that'll be a trip it'll be a once in a lifetime experience for sure.
Yeah. It totally ruins you though. I mean, I never thought I was going to be able to go over there. And I went over and now I'm hooked. Like I want to go back. I think we're talking about maybe going back next year and, not only going once in my life, that once in a lifetime, but maybe going like every other year, every year. I mean, twice a year. I don't know how, you start finding that stuff, like Ken talks about something that's 2,000 years old, it pulls you in. I mean, how can you not go over there? And honestly, I mean, you're going to come home with a bag full of stuff that, any target could be 2,000 years old. It's just absolutely amazing.
Because you just don't know. And that's right. Exactly, Tony. You get hooked finding that stuff. And there's a lot, one of my friends here, I have a couple friends in the chat that went to England with me, Grammar Time or Moonlight Graham. He went with us and he's been back 4 times, 4 or 5 times since then. And the Mumbles man, he went with us, and he's going back. So, you get hooked on that kind of stuff. It's really easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the buttons can be older than what we could find here. You know what I mean? So it's always interesting.
Oh yeah.
You wonder.
You wonder. I kept asking them people back there must have been running around naked all the time.
That's right.
With all these buttons. And how they explained it to me was, back during the medieval times, when they had the plague, they just piled them up in the fields and burned them.
Oh, sure.
And that's where a lot of the buttons came from. So,
Mm.
where they gathered up the clothes and burned them and all that kind of stuff. So you just never know. It's weird.
Yeah, last time I went, I actually found something that had to be declared as treasure. So that's the first time that happened to me. It was this little tiny silver cufflink, just one of the two, and it had two hearts on it with a crown above it. And it was a little tiny one. And when I took it over to the person that knows, he goes, "Oh yeah, you got to definitely report that as treasure." And it turned out it was a cufflink that represented the marriage of Charles II to Catherine of Braganza in 1652. And they gave out these cufflinks, and this was one. They usually were linked, and this was one that had come loose. So, yeah, they turned it in as treasure. It was cool. It's the first time I experienced that. And so the Antiquities Scheme and the Treasures Act, boy, they copied me on all the emails back and forth right along the way. Like every step they took, they kept me informed of it. And they finally disclaimed it. Overall, they disclaimed it. So they didn't want it because they had other versions of that where they were more complete, which I was happy about because that meant I got it back. And it was really cool to find something like that and go through that process,
Yeah. And the good thing about it is over there, if they would have kept that to put it in the museum, your name would have been on it.
Yeah, that would have been an honor too, right?
Yeah, they give you credit for finding it because as I understand it, talking to some friends in England, that's they work very well with the detectorists because that's where a lot of their history comes back. The finds, makes sense.
Yep. It does. And I also, they pay you too. And I understand. I have a friend of mine that's got an item over there that's being valued right now. And they get a whole group together from all different types of disciplines within, historic and, the areas and historians, all that stuff. And they come up with a fair price. And from everyone I know over in England, which is a lot because of the YouTube channel, they say it's pretty fair. Like everyone thinks it's a pretty fair offer. Like they don't try to steal from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they don't balk about paying the landowner, splitting it with the landowner either.
Right.
Which is a smart thing to do,
Sure.
Right? So, they got it going on over there, which is good. We need to have something like that here, but it is what it is here. So,
so it was cool last time we went over, Tony had a really good opportunity to talk to some landowners there. The people that were actually, letting us come on their land. You want to tell that story real quick, Tony? That was really cool.
Real quick. Yeah. We were on this site for the second time, and they had an area. The landowner themselves in the field had an area where they had some sheep. And I wandered over. I was exhausted. It was like our day 7 or 8 that we were digging. And I wandered over there and I just kind of taken in the whole England experience. I had done it, detected that many days. And so I'm just kind of just absorbing everything. And one of the workers comes over and starts talking to me. He says, "See that one sheep over there? It's pregnant. We've been waiting for that thing to give birth. It's going to, pop out any second." I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And then essentially the owner comes over and starts talking to me. And, I had just asked him, if he was the owner. He confirmed he was. I said, "I just really wanted to thank you for allowing us to come onto your property. We had found some stuff. I found my first hammered silver on your property on day 1. I'd found some buttons, and I'm telling him like all these different areas in all these fields that he owns, all of these different things that I found. And I'm just geeking out over this." And he goes, "I'm just happy that you guys can get out here and enjoy what you're so passionate about." And I'm like, "You don't have any, connection?" He's like, "No, that's just not what I'm into. I'm into farming, And so he was still willing to open this up to all of these people that are coming over from the United States in these vans and going out with their detectors and just pounding the ground and digging these holes for hours upon hours. and just doing what we absolutely love. And he was just happy that we were absolutely just enjoying ourselves. And then a few minutes later, the ranch hand jumps into the pen there with the sheep and pulls the sheep over. He says, "Oh, sheep's ready to go."
Tony,
Well, the thing of it is too, with the landowners over there, it might have. It's
I think his mic went out.
There we go.
Yeah, he muted it. But the landowners, the guys that set up the hunts, and they all, that's how you got over there, the barn hunts. They go out and get the permissions and all that kind of stuff. But they always tell you, even though you're in a field, don't leave no big gaping holes. And because you won't get invited back if they find that you're doing that. So, the people are very careful with that. So, no harm, no foul for the landowners. And like you say, if you find let's say you found a hoard, Ken, and they're going to take it for a museum, it could be, £1 million. They stand to make £500,000.
Sure.
Right.
So,
it's a good deal for them, sure.
Yeah, sure. And it's a great deal for you because you get to, to find it. And plus you might get, £500,000. So you never know. So we do have a question from Luis Villarreal. What is your most highly valuable find?
I think we both have to say our wives, right, Tony? If we don't say our wives, we're going to.
Yeah, you're going to be in big trouble.
Oh boy, that's always tough one, right? Because
it's very tough.
Well, it's a smart move.
Well, I'm going to ask this question since he's talking about highly valuable. This is something that our friend Phil always asks. Have either one of you gentlemen found a gold coin?
Yeah, both of us have. Both of us have been lucky enough to.
Very, very lucky.
United States or from England?
U.S.
U.S. Yep.
Awesome.
Okay, well that goes there.
There you go. Bingo.
Yeah,
Ricky T.
I think there's two different sides you can talk about real quick. Is most valuable monetarily found, and then also, ones that just absolutely are either your white whale, something you never thought that you'd ever dig, that could have no value at all. And for us, I think those are two different spectrums for sure.
Sure.
That's
because it may not be worth much, but it's worth a lot to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but
you attach all this emotional value to it. Yeah. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
On Jeff's as well. Phil's been hunting for 40 plus years, and that's on his bucket list to find a gold coin.
Yeah.
I've never found a gold coin, so we're just going to keep trucking along until we do find one.
It's just dumb luck, honestly, for us. I mean, it's not. Our coins were found on sites that are the ones that we focus on. So, at any time we could be on, because we try to generally, and I know Rick T had asked, right here, have you hunted any U.S. military fort sites or stagecoach stops? We generally try to find those military sites, those military camps, as well as the stagecoach stops, because so much traffic through Colorado at that time. So we could find gold coins on any of those military sites, because that's how the military at the time was paid. They were paid in gold out here in Colorado. They were out here, in the 1850s, 60s, protecting the settlers moving across the country, protecting them from the Indians and stuff. And that's how they got paid generally. So we're looking for those campsites. We're looking for those stops. Absolutely. So we're, again, just kind of not dumb luck. It's any of the sites that we've hit, we could have gold, we could not have gold. So we just lucked out.
Cool.
Yeah. The more valuable ones are always the one you have those emotional attachment to, or the historical attachment to.
Yeah.
Right. Like I found this pewter U.S. cuff button from the American Revolutionary War up in upstate New York, in Chazy, New York. And when I found out what it was, to me, that's one of my more valuable finds because of what it represents and the people that person that it was on and what they were doing for our country at the time. To me, that's really valuable. Mm-hmm. To sell it probably wouldn't be worth hardly anything, but to me, it has a special place in my display case and always will. On top of the gold coin, same as the gold coin. But
yeah. So we've got a question from Dirty Paws Detecting. Do you two belong to any metal detecting clubs in Colorado? Well, we were talking about that earlier, so let's expound on those answers, guys.
Yeah, we belong to the Eureka Treasure Hunter Club. It's easier said than done. Eureka Treasure Hunters Club. We meet monthly up in Lakewood, Colorado. And
Can you say that again, Kevin?
Eureka Treasure Hunters Club.
Okay,
There you go, you got it.
just checking.
They made the website a lot easier. It's eurekathc.org, so that's a lot easier to say.
Yeah.
But we meet up there once a month, and we've got just a lot of members. I mean, we have 120 some 150 members or something.
Yeah.
We religiously go every single week, and we get to go up there. We've got finds of the month that we get to share with people. We usually have a guest speaker from all over the world that comes and talks with us, or remotely through, Zoom or StreamYard or something like that as well. And just a great bunch of people. I know Ken and I both have really enjoyed meeting a lot of people, not only just through YouTube and that kind of stuff, social media, but inside of our club here, just having that connection to be able to go out with people that are, crazy like we are.
Yeah. It's always
Well,
really
that's,
cool.
we this is this month of July on Treasure Talks has kind of been couples month. Hunting partners, maybe husband, wife, or two buddies, or whatever. But like in the month of November, it's going to be club month. So different clubs from around the country and the world basically are going to be on, because every club is run differently.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's got good ideas how to keep your membership involved and that kind of stuff. So,
how many guests are you having on then?
We're going to have, we've got 4 different clubs. It's all going to be, each week there's going to be a different club.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So
our club's been around since 1973, so it's one of the longer running clubs out there. It's a long time for this club to exist and thrive. And yeah, Tony and I love it.
That's awesome.
Would you, Ken, would you, I mean, if someone was asking you, if they do in the chat or something like that, is it worth your time to join a club? What would you tell them?
Tenfold. Yeah. 100%, 110%.
I agree.
It gives you so much opportunity to converse with other people that have been doing it a long time, to talk about research techniques, to even just go out and have the camaraderie with people. I recommend 100%. Because once you get geeky about this, then you find other nerdy, geeky people that you
geeks
can have fun with, and it's always an exciting time.
Big Poppy is involved deeply with the WSAS Club, West State Archaeological, in Tampa, that Phil belongs to, and they do a really good job. And we've got a number of people on here tonight are with clubs. And, we always hear people say, well, I'm just getting into it. I don't know about this or about that. And our stock answer is find a metal detecting club and join the club. That's how you can learn, because there's always going to be somebody there that's got the same machine as you or had that machine, can bring you up to speed on it. You pick a lot of tips up, and it's just, you're around people that are as bonkers about it as you, like you said. So the learning experience is just unparalleled.
Yeah,
really.
You make a lot of friends at the same time. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Great experience.
We invite people to come down, even if they don't have a detector. If they're just interested in the hobby, come on down, join a meeting. I guarantee you we'll have 5 or 10 people that want to take you out the next weekend and give you one of their extra machines to use and see if you like it. It's a good way to see if you enjoy this hobby that you might be interested in.
Yep, that's for sure. We got a question from Sam Truckley. She wants to know, if you're married, and you both are, and have a spouse, which you do they metal detect with you?
Yeah, Tony and I aren't married, no matter whatever people say. We're not married. Even though we talk to each other more than we talk to our wives.
We're not married to each other.
We're not married
we
to
are
each other.
married, but we're not married to each other.
Exactly.
I was going to say, Tony, you were just telling me you just became a grandfather again. I'm saying,
I did.
Ken's doing pretty good with the postpartum. You know?
I am. I'll get there.
Uh,
Go ahead, Tony. You take that one.
Yeah, I think for both of us, we tried at the beginning to get our wives involved with this because we thought it'd be great just to hunt together, right? You've got a built-in best friend anyway, so let's hunt all together. Both of them, they'd rather just see Ken and I go out together and then bring them home all the rings that we find and gold and
bring me a ring. That's what she says
so
every time.
they would just rather see that. They said go hang out with your buddies. Go dig in the dirt, dig holes and things like that instead of going to the bar, go out and dig some history.
There you hit it right there.
There you go.
There you hit it right there. And there's no better place to go than out metal detecting rather than going to the bar.
True.
Absolutely
true.
Yep.
Grab a bottle of wine, whatever, some spirits. Our good friend Ricky T sells spirits. Joe sells wine. Take it home. Have a drink with the missus.
That's it. I will say that our Treasure Hunters Club, there was a guy in our club that would do these monthly treasure hunts. Well, he would go bury a token somewhere, some park, somewhere around our local area, and then he would start releasing these clues, like one every couple of weeks, couple of week. And they were just textual clues, riddles that you'd have to figure out to what park it was at, and then all these photo clues of his digger sitting down on a rock and pointing different directions. And my wife, Sheila, she did come out with me a few times to try to help me figure out those clues and figure out the treasure hunt without actually swinging a detector. So she did get intrigued by it.
Yeah.
But that's about the most she's been involved. Very supportive, though. Very supportive.
And like you said, you never know what you're going to find. And this happened. I got a call from a friend of mine on the Oregon coast. He's in exactly the area where they filmed the Goonies. Okay. So they're out there on the beach the other day, and they dig it up. And what it is, it's a token from Myers Metal Detectors in Tampa, Florida. $5 merchandise token that Phil buries when he has a seated hunt. Now, they got out there, and they found it on the beach. And, they're customers of Phil's to begin with. So,
oh, my gosh. Small world.
You just never know. You know what I mean? You never know. Well, I'm going to put this up here. We're going to do a little giveaway tonight.
All right.
So I'm going to put this up there so people can get registered. Okay, folks, that's what you put, just like I've got it right there. Hashtag Big Poppy. And we're going to do the drawing, and it'll be a big swag pack. Every time Phil turns his back Saturday, Joe's going to stuff something in the box. And it will have a coveted towel, and for your dining pleasure, it'll have a zazich. You can't beat that with a big stick.
And a Myers t-shirt. All you're going to need to do is send Jeff the size you want.
Yep. And we'll get it in there. And well, you never know. The zazich, hey, how can you go wrong?
That's
Stick it in your pouch. I mean, this thing will last for years if you don't open it. So stick it in your pouch. You could be out there, I'm hungry. It's a good luck size each, and it'll be decorated and autographed by Big Poppy. So
excellent. 37 entries already. That's awesome. Hashtag Big Poppy.
Yep.
Keep it going.
Yep. And they'll continue to enter.
That's the nickname that Jeff gave me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't.
What's the story behind that?
I'm trying to figure
Do
it
we
out.
want to know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we've been friends for a long time, and a couple of years ago when he got the name, I called one of our favorite Cuban restaurants in Tampa for Christmas on a Saturday, and I sent in a bunch of Cuban sandwiches up for him and Phil and Jocelyn for lunch, kind of as a Christmas thing. And I don't know, he just come out and I said, "Hey, how's Big Poppy?" So it stuck. It stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tampa
So-
over here, man. That's there's a very, very diversified culture. I'm Italian, and you got Italians, you got Spanish, you got Cuban, Puerto Rican, you got all different nationalities, and
You got them all.
a lot of good food over here in Tampa. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be down there August 11th through the 17th hunting the beaches. So I'm gonna get me some of that at Sea Breeze.
Yep, for sure.
That's a good one.
Good.
So
I got some friends over there. But someday I'll make it over there.
Yeah, well, you can go down to Ybor City, which is a really old part of Tampa, and I mean, there's a lot of Tampa just a really cool area, for a major city. I don't think the crime is real bad down there, is it, Joe?
No, not since our wonderful governor of Florida took over, Ron DeSantis. He's got this place under wraps. There's
Yeah.
Nice.
hardly any crime. It's really good. Our economy's definitely growing, so it's a good thing.
No state
Yeah.
tax too, right?
No state tax.
No state tax.
And
Excellent.
Florida is a balanced budget state, so
Yep.
can't beat it. You can't beat it. But Colorado's really cool. Now Phil his son lives out there,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I'm going to do this drawing. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what we talked about earlier about the hunt for next year. I know you don't have dates, but well, let's talk about it and find a little information. We may get some people. So I'm going to go ahead and do this drawing.
All right. Good luck.
Okay.
Good luck, everybody.
So here
54.
we go.
Drum roll.
Here we go.
And the winner is
The winner is
Lurker
Lurker
Troy.
Troy.
What's
Lurker
up, Troy?
Troy. Lurker Troy.
just lurking in the background. Then he comes on to win
okay.
the prize.
That's right.
Yes, he does. He was lurking and he comes on to win the prize. So we're good there. Now, Lurker, what you got to do is you got to send to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. Send your name, address, and phone number and your shirt size. That's very important to get your shirt size. So Saturday, Big Poppy will put that all together, put the sausage, and I would recommend you probably eat that, within 7 years.
At least.
Definitely within 7 years. And, stick it in your pouch, take a bite, wrap it back up, put her back in there. Hey, it don't hurt.
Congratulations,
So.
Troy. Troy's a big listener here to the Relics Radio podcast too. And I
Yeah.
just want to say a big congratulations to him, of course.
Yeah. Good job.
All
Troy.
discerning people either watch, they both of them, they watch Treasure Talk
Yep,
and Relics Radio.
they do.
That's right.
All righty, so we're done with that. Let's talk about the hunt that it's not going to happen this year, but it's next year.
Yeah, I had mentioned that the Eureka Treasure Hunters Club been around since 1973, and over the years they've put on, I think we're up to number 26 of Rush to the Rockies. That's their national hunt that they put on. They took a break over a COVID issue, the COVID times and all that stuff. But we did one last year. It was great. We tried to put one on this year, but we lost our space because we run the hunt in city and county of Denver mountain parks, and we were able to kind of just lose our spot this year. So instead of rushing around to grab some place that wouldn't be as spectacular to hold our hunt, we decided to back off this year. But we're going to go this year in 2025. We'll have a hunt. It'll be Rush to the Rockies, and it'll be somewhere here in the mountains of Colorado. And it usually goes around June, late June, mid-June, July. We don't want to get too late in there. That's generally when we have it. So if you want to, and I'm sure any of you that follow me or Tony on our social media, you'll be hearing us talk about it left and right. You can go to eurekathc.org and keep track of that. But we usually post it out everywhere and try to come on talk shows like this to get the word out when that is planned and when we have dates. But Tony, remember last year, like we had so much fun. I'm usually one of the organizers of it. We broadcasted our podcast live from the show. And how many detectors did we give away for such a, 110 hunters? And
Was it
18?
something like that?
18
Yeah.
detectors given away. And that's to the graciousness of all of our manufacturer supporters. But for
Right.
110 people to be giving away 18 machines, it was pretty amazing.
That's
Pretty
stellar.
amazing.
Yeah.
Plus
It's
all
really
kinds
great.
of other stuff, all kinds of other stuff going on there. But
They step up every time they step up,
yeah.
you know,
They
and you
do.
get some of the major manufacturers that, come along to the hunt, which is really good.
And we always say we put 100, sometimes 105% of the money we collect in the ground, and everyone always says, "Well, how can you do that?" We're such a large club. We have funds that we can actually use, the club funds, to actually put on the hunt. So your entry fees that you pay, 100% of that goes into the ground, and then we usually always sweeten the deal from the club,
Mhm.
which is why there's even more than 100% that goes into the ground. And it's always been done very well. All the hunts have themes. There's games going on. There's all kinds of giveaways going on. A lot of free swag being given out like crazy. A lot of the manufacturers send us all kinds of stuff. And remember that last year, Tony, we had a hard time giving stuff away. Like
It-
it was,
yeah,
we had
I
so
was going
much
to mention
stuff.
that.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
so
in
Well,
much
you never
between-
know.
In between all the different hunts, you come back and you're looking through all the stuff that you found and everything, and the MC is like, okay, we're gonna draw a name and you're gonna get a t-shirt. Okay, we're gonna draw a name, and they're like rushing through this because there's this huge box of stuff that they still got to give away, and they're just, I mean, you're just throwing hats, you're throwing shirts, giving away gold nuggets,
Yeah.
metal detectors, like it's nonstop. If you don't walk away with like at least three really good pieces of something, as well as everything that you're finding on the hunt, man, it's an incredible hunt for sure.
You never know. Phil and I may come out there next year, and we may
Yeah.
bring a dozen Super Sazich
Autograph.
give away.
I'll hold you to that. If I hear you're coming,
Yeah.
man, I'm going to hold
Yeah.
you.
I got-
to that.
I got
Okay.
a question from a great friend of mine, Dirty Paws Detective Mike Mayo.
Yeah.
He wants to know, is the hunt you're doing, is it going to be seeded or a natural hunt?
Yeah.
It is a seated hunt.
It is
No,
a
that's-
seated
you
hunt.
know,
That's the way we do ours in our club. We do
Yeah.
it out on the
Yeah.
beach, huge prominent beach, and we put about $2,000 worth of silver in the ground.
mm,
Yeah.
wow.
It has to be seeded because, out west, I was talking about at the beginning of the show, there's just not that many wild areas that would produce some really good relics for people in mass quantities. You might have that back east, right? Historical property, but
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
And what are
This
we
is
looking
so
at
cool.
there, Tony?
Go ahead, Tony.
This is some footage I took with my drone. I tend to try and make as many videos. It's real choppy just because it's raw, but that just kind of shows this is one of I think maybe 4-5 different fields that we actually used, and you can see just the number of people. Now this is the flatter area. We do have hunts that are actually up in those trees.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the easy one.
This is the easy one for sure.
Yeah.
So you can see just a lot of people, beautiful scenery.
Oh, yes.
Even though it is seated, which some people may not like, we try to embrace that true rush to the Rockies, the Rocky side of it, where you're actually coming into Colorado and enjoying, the entire thing. We actually had a bull moose.
Yeah.
If I can go back over here. So right down in this area over here, and from the left coming in between one of the two hunts, we had a bull moose come walking through here, hunker down, walk back up in this area, and just kind of lay down. Never aggressive towards us, but it's that whole Rockies thing, the Rockies theme that we really try to embrace, and it's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be a great trip for a lot of people. Speaking of that, Mr. Tom Becker from the Trumbull Treasure Hunters in Ohio wants to know what's the average cost and how long is the hunt?
$8,000, and it goes about a half an hour. But
No.
you'll get your. Nah, I'm teasing. What was our price last time? It was like 275 or 325, something like that.
I think it's 275 for early. I think they bump it to 325 if you don't get in on the early tickets. But you have 5 hunts. we gave away, what was it, 18, 17 metal detectors. And then you've got, and it goes over 2.5 days. They usually do like a meet and greet, kind of like Friday night.
Yeah.
Then Saturday, Sunday, you're,
stuff.
yeah, it's a big long event. With it being up in the mountains, there'll be hotels, campgrounds you can stay at that are close. Lots and lots of food, lots of just lots of people. We've met so many people at metal detecting events that it just is. It's absolutely incredible, the people that we get to meet. It's fantastic. It's a great event.
Yeah.
Now, are there a limited amount of detectorists?
No, we usually get about 110 to 115. It's a commitment to kind of fly out there, and the cost of hotels and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And these days, guys, there's so many hunts going on around the country.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find one that's not too far from you, to go to. So, I mean, but we were holding hunts back before hunts were the cool thing to do, So, but if you come out, you're guaranteed to have a really good time and enjoy some beautiful views and meet some really cool people that are just as excited about it as you are. And
That's the kicker right there, Ken.
Yeah.
That's
That's the kicker.
That picturesque terrain that you guys showed on the video, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've got another one here if we want to throw this up when we can
Sure.
talk some more as we're doing it, but all right. So this is the gulch. We actually do it in this place that's in a gulch, and drone footage is just so dramatic. You can capture so many things with the drone footage. So yeah, we love doing it as much as possible. And like I said, some people love seated hunts. It's like a competition. People get very, very competitive when it comes to some seated hunts versus just the natural ones, where you may go home with one button. It's going to be an old button. It's going to be a good button, but you probably maybe only go home with a button, that whole weekend, just because you just never know what you're going to find. We really try to put so much in the ground. I think a couple of years ago, I came home, we had a buffalo nickel hunt. And I think I came home with 153 buffalo nickels from just that one hunt.
Yeah.
So,
But a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come home from these things, you come home, if you're, any kind of a personable person at all, with a number of new acquaintances and friends that'll last for a long, long time.
Yeah, we definitely, Ken and I have definitely come on with more phone numbers through the years. And in fact, we keep in touch with a lot of the people too. We're just
we get a lot of people traveling in. Like I was talking with guys that were all sitting at a table, having lunch during our lunch break. And I went over and I thought they all knew each other. I thought they were all from the same club. And I was like, hey, so where are you guys from? You guys from Kansas or something? And he's like, no, he's from Texas and he's from Kansas and he's from Oklahoma and he's all the way from Washington State. And it was like, they didn't know each other before that hunt, So it was just really cool that they were able to get together and meet each other. And, everyone's like-minded, right? We all have like-mindedness there. And that's the cool part about it, And then you put this backdrop behind it. And it really makes it special. Yeah.
That'll take care of it every time, I will tell you.
Yeah.
So, guys, we've gone an hour already. You believe that?
All right.
We're just getting started with the introductions. All right.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to get you guys scheduled back. I'm thinking probably March. That'd be a good time because you'll have dates and everything by that time, I think, won't you?
Yeah, it could have some information. We'll talk maybe offline about when we want to promote next year, 2025, Rush to the Rockies.
Yeah, because there's a number of people in the chat tonight that expressed interest in attending.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really good. I know Phil wants to go. So
we don't announce it until we have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and we know exactly where it's going to be, when it's going to be, have everything. We have the committee formed, we have the board of directors behind it, and everything's ready to roll. And it goes off really smooth. But yeah, we won't even start advertising it until we have all that stuff ready to roll.
That's right. That's a good idea, and that's a very good practice to do. So let's tell everybody again when your podcast is on Relics Radio.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Relics Radio, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. We get started. We are over at 5280 Adventures for the live stream video cast. And then over on Spreaker.com or wherever you can get your podcast, you'll have the audio download, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, wherever you can find podcasts, you can find Relics Radio. But if you want to watch the video of us interviewing the guests and such, you got to go over to 5280 Adventures on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern.
We'll be there, and we'll be square. We will be there to check you guys out. And we just can't thank you enough for coming on tonight. This hour has flown by.
It usually does, yeah.
I mean, it's gone. And you guys do a great job with your YouTube channels, with the hunt, and with your show. And we just congratulate you on that. And we're definitely going to get you back probably March. You tell me when you've got the information, and we'll get it scheduled, okay?
Yep. Sounds good.
So we just can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us tonight. And we wish you all the best. And thank you again.
Thank you, Tony and Ken. Very nice meeting you, gentlemen. Hope to see you in the future.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Joe, Jeff, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
You're
guys.
quite welcome, Joe. Thank you. And we will see you next week for the last installment of our duo hunting, where we have SoFlo Treasure Finds and Team Lynch Beach Detecting. So we're going to have two couples on, that husband and wife couples that hunt together and are still married. So we will see you then. Happy hunting, everybody, and make sure that you dig deeper. And the Guru will be back next week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Good night.